today we're going to be talking about the Beauty Killer palette from Jeffree Star. This is a vegan and cruelty-free eyeshadow palette that Jeffree Star, the back in the day musician on MySpace, he obviously, everybody in the beauty world knows him. He created Jeffree Star Cosmetics. He apparently, because I've never tried them, has really amazing liquid lipsticks. And now he came out with his first palette. I did a first impression, but the whole video, the audio is just really bad because our AC broke that day and I filmed anyway with a fan next to me. So it's really loud the whole time, and now we have AC, so now I'm like chilling. Don't need a fan, obviously. So I have played with it and I wanted to kind of give not an updated thought, but just a whole video to the palette and to why I will never be buying another Jeffree Star product ever, most likely. I'm going to get into the palette first because I think that's what's important. We're talking about the product, and sometimes it's hard for us to pick apart what the product is and who the person who created is, but we still need to do that because just because people hate Jeffree Star, we can't bash the product, because if the product is good, then we need to say good things about the product and we need to be honest. So this is going to be a completely honest review. I bought this with my own money. It was $45 plus shipping. So I think it was like 52 or whatever. I was really scared because a couple of girls were posting swatches and posting that they had gotten like a really bad palette, that it didn't swatch the way that we were seeing the swatches, that it wasn't good quality, it wasn't like how Jeffree himself swatched them. And so I was really scared because I didn't want to be one of those people to get a really bad palette. So I didn't know if it was the whole thing that was like a bad product or if it was like a bad batch or what it was. So I was scared, and I didn't get the palette until like a week ago because I just got back from a trip. So I was like, I don't know what I'm getting, and I don't even know if I get a bad one, if they'll refund me. So to now, I've played with the palette twice, that first time and then today, and this is pretty much what the palette looks like. It's this really pretty baby pink packaging, and it's a little bit pinker than it looks in the camera because the lights are blowing it out. I mean, that's kind of obvious. But I will post pictures of the palette on my blog and here somewhere so you guys can see. But it's a really pretty packaged palette. I think, the packaging is just really beautiful. And the Beauty Killer is a little bit of a stamp, so you can feel it when you touch it, so it's not like printed on. It's just, I think this is a really nice touch of the font. The box that it comes with is really pretty too. It's like a Barbie pink. It's something you would want to keep, because I'm the type of person that I keep boxes sometimes. So this is what the palette itself looks like. It has 10 shades. They are quite big pans. They're not like a normal, like your normal size pan that would be like that. I watched Stephanie Nicole's, I think that's her name, her review, and according to her review, I think each shadow split to 45 comes out to like $4 or $5 or something. So the palette was kind of hard to get. I didn't get it in the first batch. They released it and it sold out like really quick, and then so I didn't get it in that one. So I got it in the second release, and then it didn't sell out after that. So I thought that I might have to do something with the quality of the palette, and that's why I said I was a little scared. So in the palette we have these are the shades. I'm gonna go through them. I already did a swatch, but I'm going to swatch it again for you guys. And I'm only going to swatch it on my fingers. So they're not going to be super accurate as what it would be with a brush on your eyes. So the first shade we have is Courtney. And Courtney is a really pretty nude. It's kind of like the perfect transition color. I know it's a little bit out there to say it's the perfect, but I feel like it's pretty neutral. Like, even though it looks really warm, when you put it on the lid, it's like the perfect in between of warm and neutral. It's not too gray, but it's not too orange. And overall with this palette, it's the perfect transition color for this palette because I really do think that it fits everything. That's what it looks like on my finger. It almost disappears. And then I'm always like the worst swatcher. So there you can kind of see it. It is disappearing into my skin because it's so similar to my skin color. That's why I think personally that it's the perfect transition color for my skin. Below it is Rich Bitch, and since I've played with some of these eyeshadows and since I've touched them before, I know what the texture is like. Courtney is quite soft. It's not powdery. It's not, you know, I'm looking down at it. It's not powdery. It's not too blotchy. Actually, I think I've worn that one the most out of all of these, and I think it's pretty blendable. It's really smooth. It goes on smoothly. It's creamy, or soft. I wouldn't call them creamy. It's pretty soft. Rich Bitch, on the other hand, is very glittery and rough, and it feels like sandpaper. Rich Bitch is a beautiful color, but it's very rough on your finger, and it's a little patchy, but I think it would just be best used with your finger. It's a really beautiful color. It's like a gold, but it has more of like a yellow tone than a true gold. It's not very warm orange. It's more like a yellow. The next color we have is Violence, and Violence is like a satin. It's not super shimmery, but it does have some sparkle to it. And this one actually feels very creamy when you touch it. It's a little blotchy. Not too blotchy, but it's a little blotchy. That's kind of what it looks like blended out. And then this is what it looks like on my arm. It's a pretty color. It has a pretty like iridescent. It has like a little bit of a blue iridescent feel to it. So sometimes you can, it's a little bit red underneath, like a red undertone, and then it has the blue purple sparkles. Then we have Princess, which is one of my favorite shades as well. It's a really beautiful like lilac lavender. It's just a gorgeous color. It's so pretty. It's not blotchy. It's like really beautiful and it's not blotchy, and it's a really pretty highlight color. Like, I would probably highlight my face with it. I put it today in my inner corner a little bit, not that much, so it might not be as noticeable as I did do my makeup 5 hours ago, but it's somewhere in there. The last shadow here is Star Power, and it is a super hot pink. And this one is actually really soft and really pigmented once you put it on your finger. And then when we swatch it, it does lose a little bit of its power and it becomes a little blotchy because it is a little powdery. But it's a very hot neon Barbie pink. This is Courtney, this is Rich Bitch, this is Violence, Princess, and Star Power. So now I'm going to go into the next little row. Definitely, like I said, my favorite shadows from this row are Princess and Courtney. Those are two shadows that I don't think I have in my collection. So in the bottom we have Expensive, and this is like a shimmer, but it's not as, it doesn't have the glitters that Rich Bitch has. It doesn't feel sandpapery, so it's actually kind of smooth. It's a little powdery. So that's what Expensive looks like. It has little sparkles. The next color we have in the palette is this gorgeous, like, burgundy. It's not burgundy because it doesn't have a lot of red, but it's just really pretty. It's almost like a bronze color. And it's a little bit warmer, but it's just so pretty, and it's definitely my favorite color in the entire palette. It's really unique. I don't have anything like this either. This is definitely like the creamiest shadow in this palette. This is what it looks like. It's just gorgeous. Look at that. It's beautiful in every way. The next color is Vanity. It's like a matte dark brown. Has a little bit, it's like an eggplant color, like a dark eggplant color. And to me, I think this is one of my least favorite shades. It's very powdery. It doesn't blend well. Today I tried to use it on the outer crease and it gave me a hard time, so I had to end up using, and it's blotchy. I had to use a Too Faced color to blend everything together, but this color was super hard to work with. It was super blotchy. It didn't want, like, I couldn't blend it. It was not smooth at all. So Vanity is definitely one of my least favorite colors. I think it's beautiful and it's super pigmented, but you can't blend it, which is a problem because if you're going to apply a dark color, you want to blend that. You have to do it really quick. So I love the color, but it's just, as a shadow, the product itself is super hard to work with and it's powdery. The next color is China White. I love this color because I thought it was going to be too light on me, and I'm pretty mid-toned, kind of fair, but in the summer I do get pretty tan. So I thought this color wasn't going to work for me, but this is actually a perfect base color. This is also a matte color, so this is what it looks like. You can kind of see it on my skin because it's also blending in, but that's what it looks like. The last shadow, and the shadow I'm probably never going to use, is Black Rainbow. Black Rainbow is just a matte black undertone with a bunch of sparkles. I don't like glittery blacks. I never use them. To me, it's like a waste of a black. I think if he would have put a black, that would have been better. But this black shimmery, I don't use colors like this. So it's like not that opaque. You know, it's kind of like if it was super black and anything like Confession, then I think that would have been really cool. But it's not. It's super powdery. It's kind of just meh. I don't like it personally. I'm never going to use it. So the swatches from the first row are here. And then the second row, they're kind of like meshed together. Oh, that's weird. Oh, both. The whole palette is on my arm. This is Expensive, Confession, Vanity, China White, and Black Rainbow. I'm obsessed with this water. I don't know how to pronounce that. I know it's French. It's La Croix. This is the best sparkling water I've ever had. This one is flavored. It's blackberry cucumber, and it is like incredibly amazing. The best part about this water is that it's water. So it has 0 calories, it has 0 everything because it's literally just water, and it doesn't have sodium, and it's like naturally flavored. I don't know how they do it. As a whole, I don't know how I feel about the palette because it's very hit and miss for me. One shadow I love, the next is not that great, the next I'm probably never going to use, the next one I love, the next one I have better shadows of that color. So the palette as a whole is just like not a winner to me. I say that with the utmost respect of the people who create makeup for us because they create it, you know, hopefully with us in mind, with a vision. They want to make something that we love, and not every eyeshadow can be a must-have, and I understand that. So now is the issue with Jeffree Star and who he is and what he is as a person. And honestly, lately I've just been hearing so much negative things about him, and I'm not someone that will believe other people's hate or shade or whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, I think that what he does and how he acts is very upsetting to women. As a feminist, I have to defend women. As a woman, I have to defend women. To say the least, he's just acted very wrong in situations. He's said multiple times that he would beat up girls. And I know that it's one thing to talk on social media and be like, oh, I'm gonna beat all these bitches up and all this shit. But even as a lady, that's not okay. You can't just go around saying you're gonna beat up other people, regardless of whether you agree with them or not, or whether you have beef with them or not. It's just not classy to say, oh, I'm gonna go beat girls up. And then as a man, because whether Jeffree likes it or not, he is a man, and therefore he needs to respect men and women. And then the way his company has dealt with social media things, like the whole Rocky Roadkill, I think that's his name, I don't remember. I watched that video, and I didn't watch it. I watched it before Jeffree responded, allegedly. I watched it, and I was like, wow, this guy is not... Funny thing is that Jeffree said that it was slander. And the whole time I was like, wow, this guy, he just must be a really big fan of Jeffree because he's not bashing his company at all. So there's just a lot of Jeffree Star that I would rather not support. As much as I wanted to try the velour liquid lipsticks, I just cannot give Jeffree any more of my money. I already spent $50 on this palette, and it's really a hit or miss palette. I could have spent $50 on a Tarte palette, on a bunch of other products. Like, I could have supported another brand who is also cruelty-free and vegan. I'm no stranger to controversies and people hating on company owners. I have always been a little outspoken with the Lime Crime thing and Doe Deer and how much I love her company and support her company. And yes, she's made mistakes, but she's not anywhere near Jeffree Star like material. So I'm not saying we should put our energy into hating Jeffree Star. I just think we should think about where we're putting our money in and who we're giving our money to. That's the most important thing. We work so hard. We're not, you know, I'm a beauty blogger, but I'm not like Jaclyn Hill or Nikki Tutorials who gets free makeup all the time that I don't have to buy my own makeup. No, I still very much like to buy my own makeup. I like to support brands. I like to support YouTubers. Jeffree Star, though, he's not a person who came from struggle. He's not like Jaclyn Hill, who came from struggle and now has something, and so she understands the power of people and how people put her there. Jeffree Star just doesn't seem to really care about his fans or his supporters. People make mistakes. I'm not saying anyone is perfect, but I think we should own up to our mistakes and we should apologize. Overall, he's just not a grateful person, and I don't really think he deserves to have as many followers and cult followers like he does. I don't know him personally. I've never had an interaction with him. I hope no one watches this thinking that I'm hating on him. I'm just simply deciding to support elsewhere and give my money to someone else. So it's very conflicting, and I have nothing against him as a person. Once I'm done with this video, I'm not gonna think about Jeffree Star anymore. My life isn't gonna be different. Like, I'm just pretty much telling people to inform themselves on who you're giving your money to and the products as well. Don't hype up a product if you don't think it's the absolute best. Be honest and be kind, because that's clearly what Jeffree Star is not. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you decide whether you're going to get a palette or not. By all means, if you think that you would love this palette, then I would give it a try. And also, I forgot to mention what colors I was wearing on my eyelids today. I'm wearing Courtney as my transition color, so all over my crease. Then I have a little bit of Vanity, which I said was a little bit hard to blend, and I put another Too Faced shadow on top of it. And then I have a little bit of Princess and Bellini from the Sweet Peach palette. Oh my god, I love Bellini. I have to do a tutorial with the Sweet Peach palette, but yeah, that's what I have. And then on the bottom I have another color from the Sweet Peach palette. So yeah, that's it. On my lips, I'm wearing ColourPop's Echo Park. It's so pretty. Like, I have a bunch of ColourPop stuff, and I just like, I put it on, I rediscover it every day, and I'm like, oh, girl, this color. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!